I'm Michael Artsis in the Canon booth with my good friend Paul McNiff. Paul, thanks so much for joining us. I'm excited to be in the Canon booth.
Well, hey, we're excited to have you here. Thank you very much for coming by, Michael.
C500, C300, 1DC, the 5D Mark III, those are some really great cameras to just get right out of the gate and shoot video with.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that you pretty much just listed the entire workhorse lineup that we have for our Cinema EOS cameras. The only one that you left out was the C100. We've got a nice addition this year, the most exciting thing I think in the booth. It's not a camera, but it's an addition to our Cinema Lens lineup. And this is kind of new stuff that's going on in the industry. We've got a 17 to 120. We have a PL mount. It's going to be EF available also. But this comes with a removable servo grip, so it gives you the operability that you would have with a regular ENG style lens, but it's designed for a Super 35 sensor, and it's of course 4K capable.
So this is something you could actually truly maybe shoot a football game with, and this is what a lot of people who switched to DSLRs a few years ago were really looking for, is an EF mount or PL mount lens that gives them a servo zoom.
Right. Now, the reason it's EF and PL mount is because our Cinema EOS cameras are EF or PL. The image circle size has not been indicated so far, and again, we only have one unit, so sometimes things are subject to change, before we ship them. But right now, all indications are that it's not going to cover a 5D Mark III sensor because that's the image circle indication that we've gotten. So it's really designed for Super 35 cameras. Canon's legacy is as a lens company in terms of supporting other cameras. So we have no problem if you put this on somebody else's PL mount or EF adapted camera. It's a beautiful, beautiful lens, and it's designed to meet the needs of people. It's a great thing to work for a company that makes cameras and lenses because everybody is still a potential sale for you.
It's really exciting. I mean, I know a lot of people have wanted this for a long time, and it's great. And like you said, because of the PL mount, it can fit on other cameras. There have been a lot of camera announcements here at NAB that are very exciting. So I think that's another great asset to that. You guys are doing so much in the world of 4K. Tell me a little bit about Canon's raw 4K out of the C500 into like Odyssey Q7 or an Aja Key Quad Pro.
Well, yeah, those are the recorders that you use. The Odyssey 7Q is that's one of the newer and more interesting ones. They're starting to support higher frame rates in that. We were speaking with them, and they have plans to go even higher with the frame rate support that they're going to have. And that's a nice piece because it basically functions as a large monitor. In terms of the whole 4K workflow front, the most exciting thing that we have is definitely going to be our 4K reference displays used for DI suites, color grading. They support the ASUS proxy, which will come out of our C500. So the ASUS proxy we're the first company to put that support into one of our cameras. That's pretty much a confidence monitor where you can go and you can create your LUTs to get the look that the director wants. And it's going to look exactly like when you bring it into an ASUS workflow environment. So that way, when you go back to do your final conforming, you're doing your actual color grading, your beginning base point is precisely what the director wanted to see and what he wanted to create. Those reference displays also support the newer color spaces that we have in the C500, the P3 Plus, which is slightly bigger than the P3 projection standard. It allows you to do things like accomplish the blue in, say, a police siren. That blue is a little hard. It's a little bit outside of P3.
It definitely is.
Yeah, so if you do P3 Plus, you've got enough in there that you don't actually lose it. It can bring it into a blue that is capable in P3. It also supports our Canon proprietary cinema gamut. The monitors themselves, they'll support LUTs and they will support ASC CDLs, which is an integral part of using the ASUS proxy, the entire ASUS workflow. So we're working very closely with the Academy of Arts and Sciences on that, and that's helped to develop these monitors, or I shouldn't call them monitors, they're 4K reference displays. And the other thing they do is if you're shooting in 2K, they will upsample and give you really, really stunning results in view.
You guys have a lot of great stuff. And I think what's awesome is that all of the cameras can take you literally from, video journalism, even stuff you'd throw on the web, all the way up to the highest of high-end production for commercial, print, and even film. And you guys are doing a lot of work with 4K and the C500 in sports.
Yeah, actually we do have a a demonstration of that going on here. We've got two separate of the zoom systems. So they're not really 4K UHD deliverance into the home. What they are is they're acquiring in 4K, and then they zoom in, because if you go in, say 200, 250% zooming in and an immediate replay played off of a server, that's going to give you about a 1080 image. So you're not going to have any loss. Now currently there are some broadcasters that are doing it with a 4K acquisition camera and some that are just sticking to HD, and it also depends on the game that they're showing. But if they do it now when they're just doing it in HD, the picture falls apart immediately. When you take the image quality that comes off of our image sensor, and that did win a technical Emmy when we released the C300, and it's the same image sensor in the 500, that 4K sensor, that holds up so well that you can see all, well, I mean, it's not going to be pretty detail, but it's definitely enough discernible detail and acceptable image quality for them to review a play, and they can see exactly what happened. You talk about smaller, lower-end journalism, we released the XF200 and XF205. They have Ethernet ports for some camera control capabilities and moving files off. They now will record in, aside from the XF codec, they'll also do MP4s. So you can choose lower bit rates, and you can send those over Wi-Fi or Ethernet, and you can send them into, you know, a TV environment for an immediate broadcast or onto a website.
Awesome, awesome stuff. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Michael Artsis, that's Paul, and we're at the Canon booth, NAB 2014. Keep watching more of our coverage as NAB rolls on.
Do you want great-looking prints at low cost? Be sure to visit our easy-to-use online printing service. Adorama Pix has professionals who treat your images with the utmost care that you can count on. For a quick turnaround on photos, cards, or albums, use AdoramaPix.com.